Hello and welcome to Honors English 3 with Mrs. Schoenweiss, periods 6 and 9. I will be your teacher for the year teaching American literature. We'll be discussing several novels, rhetoric. You'll be writing a research paper on a problem in society and coming up with solutions and much more. Looking forward to getting to this year in maybe a sort of normal fashion, at least better than last year. And this video is going to serve for both my students and their parents. So first I'm going to talk to the students. At the end, I'll talk to the parents a little bit about some of the testing things, or I'll just incorporate things throughout. Anyway, here it goes. So this is what your Schoology course will look like throughout the year. At the top, I will always have the dates and important information. And if you click the click here slide, you click here. So this is the page that's always linked at the top of my course, and it will give the schedule for the week, like very basic, and it has both period 6 and 9 on the schedule. I also do some birthday shout outs. So that's the first thing you see when you come to my course. And then the first week of school, we'll be using this welcome folder for some things, but then this welcome folder will go underneath whatever unit we're working on. But in this folder, you have my welcome video, which I'm doing now. It'll also be used for back to school night. My biography, course syllabus, class expectations. So this is just a little bit about me. As you can see, this is my 29th year teaching. I taught 28 years. 16 have been at Kingsway, so this is my 17th this year. I'm also a school newspaper advisor. I'm a teacher mentor. I've taken on being assistant swim coach this year. And I'm on the EdTech committee, which helps me learn all about technology, hopefully to make this course so much better for my students. And just a little bit more about myself that you can see. I do live in East Greenwich, and my daughter attends this school. That's our picture from the first day of school last year. Etc. There's also a blank smart schedule that students can fill in. They can make a copy and fill it in online, a typed version, just so they can see their whole schedule for the week. You can see it in PowerSchool, but it can be a pain to get to, so I'll just click on that and show you what it looks like. So this is in their folder, and they can fill this out the first day. I have hard copies if they don't do this in their period 1 class. So what it does, we start with the rotation next week. So if students fill in their courses, they can have this in their phone and have a picture of it once it's all filled out. They can also list their smart teachers and availability. So they'll always have it, and they'll just have to look at the day in the beginning of the week and know where they're going. So this is really, really helpful. So you just put in, because your first period is going to be different every day. Your first period will be on Monday. It will be actual period 1. On Tuesday, period 1 will be the second bell. On Thursday, period 1 will be the third bell. And then period 1 won't be seen on D-Day, for example. So for period 6 will be seen on Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, the first bell. It'll be the first bell after lunch. Then the next day, it will be the second bell after lunch. Thursday, it will be the third bell after lunch. And then that class will not be seen next Friday. So it's really good if they have this whole schedule filled out to look at. And again, it's linked in the folder. Okay, so also in this welcome folder in the beginning, there is my syllabus for Honors English, general classrooms rules, student expectations for live streaming, our reassessment practice, our grading policy, the high school smart schedule, which I already went over, and then a help folder for families. So there's a lot of information that's really good that's in this welcome folder at the beginning of the year. I'm just going to go over some of it now in this PowerPoint. So Honors English 2 this year, there are 2 teachers in our department that teach Honors English. You can see me here. That is my information, schoenweissk@krsd.us. If you should ever need assistance for anything, please feel free to reach out. Here's our course description. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but just basically the units are, the first unit we're going to start with is The Great Gatsby, and students will be doing a literary theory research paper with this unit. They'll be exploring a certain literary criticism and applying it to the novel. Another unit we do next is short story. Students will work in groups. They will read the story, identify the important key elements, and they were going to be doing a group presentation in front of the class. All students in the class are expected to read all the stories, but different groups will teach the story. So basically, they're taking the knowledge of analysis we learned from The Great Gatsby and applying that to short stories. We then move into The Crucible, which is a play based on the Salem witch trials, but about Arthur Miller's fear of government oppression and communism in the United States from the 1950s. That's why he wrote it, but it is about the Salem witch trials and sort of what happens to the people who resist the authority of the church and government. Unit 4 is our research paper. It is a global problem and best solution. We'll be working quite a long time on that. Students will pick a global problem and they will come up with the best solution to it based on research. So they have to research the issue at length. And finally, at the end of the year, we talk about famous speeches and poems. Students will be reading a speech or a piece of nonfiction that is connected to a work of fiction, a poem, and they will be exploring the themes and also doing a group activity and taking final assessments. There's the information about retakes, and they may see me during Smart Lunch. I'm available B-Day. Everything in my course is in Schoology. I really make a good effort to put everything right there for students to find. The only thing that upsets parents, and I'm also a parent in the district, so I can tell you that seeing a 0 is a little bit upsetting, but it is a placeholder until students make it up. Homework, generally, they might have to make it up to do a retake. I'll give them 50% credit. But a test or a quiz, depending on what it is, they'll get full credit. Unless it's an essay that's maybe, 3 weeks, 4 weeks overdue, then I will not be giving them full credit on that essay. But there will be a 0 placeholder put in until the student completes the assignment. And just a little bit more in the syllabus. Okay, a few other things you may want to pay attention to. This is not in the help folder, but it is on the guidance website under assessments. You'll see there are tests that are going to be taken throughout the year. The first thing is just being used entirely by Kingsway. That is map testing. And students will be experiencing map testing the very first week of school for about a period and a half of time. And then they'll also be receiving that same map test in January and also in June. The state is requiring a test it's called New Jersey Strong, for 7th to 10th graders, and then 11th graders will be taking some other things, not ELA yet. They will not be taking the ELA yet. There may be a science test for some of them, depending on their courses. That's the beginning of the year. And then the PSAT is October 26th. That is given and paid for by the school. Please make sure that your child or that you as a student come to school refreshed with a good night's sleep and are prepared. And then the SATs, this is when we offer them at Kingsway, but they will have to be paid for on your own, and they are on Saturdays. These are the dates at Kingsway. Certainly, you do not have to take the SAT at Kingsway. You can take it at any other time. Asvab Test is usually a military placement test, but you can also take it for some colleges. And then there's a few other things I'm not sure that much about that don't necessarily affect everybody. The advanced placement exams, if your child's in AP, this is not AP English, but if they're in other AP courses, There's a scheduled time here from May 2nd to 13th. That's the window this year. And then all 11th graders will be taking an ELA for the state. It looks like from March 14th to 18th. And then there's a makeup date. This counts as their graduation requirement, as it says. And they're also juniors are responsible for taking a science test this year. So I know it's a lot of testing, but I just wanted to make you aware in case you did not see that in the guidance program, because a lot of the test is ELA, and it will be administered by myself either in class, or I'll be trying to prepare students throughout the year for it. As far as rules in my class, I just expect students to be ready, responsible, and respectful. They are juniors in high school. I would expect that if they're having a problem, they contact me first. But parents are welcome if it's an ongoing problem. If I haven't been clear, they can contact me at any time. But I always ask that, students need to start working out problems on their own. They'll be in college in a few years or on their own. So I'm always available during Smart Lunch. I'm not always in my classroom. I do have lavatory duty, but I'm in the same hallway I teach for that lavatory duty on A and C days. So they could come talk to me in the hall, or they can see me B in my classroom. D day, I do have meetings during lunch, but I'm usually there after school as well. So please make sure if they're having trouble, or if you're having trouble in my class, you come and see me. And that's pretty much it. Okay, this is a note at the bottom here. This is what they can expect. And I really do hope to make this year really great, better than last. Although I do feel like I was successful with the students I had last year. I enjoyed them in class. As hard as it was to be virtual and not virtual, to be wearing the masks, I really love what I do. I've been doing it a long time. And I really try to make my class a place where students can be successful. So thank you, and have a great year.